Why you're still struggling with English even after years. Before we get into today's lesson, pause for a second and ask yourself something. Have you subscribed yet? If you're trying to really learn English, not just study it, but actually speak it, understand it, and use it in real life, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and like this video. That way, you won't miss any of our daily videos. Yes, we're here every single day with real, simple, useful English made just for you. Now, let's talk honestly. You've been learning English for a long time. Maybe it's been a few months. Maybe it's been years. You've studied the grammar. You've done the exercises. You've watched videos. You've read books. You've written down vocabulary lists. And still, speaking feels hard. Listening is confusing. You freeze when someone talks fast. You feel like you should be fluent by now, but you're not. And it's frustrating, isn't it? You're not alone. Many English learners feel exactly the same way. They try, they work hard, but they don't see results. And it's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're bad at languages. It's because they've been learning English the wrong way. Let's look at why. Imagine learning how to cook by only reading recipes, but never touching the kitchen. You could memorize all the ingredients, all the steps. But when it's time to cook, you'd still have no idea what to do. That's how most people learn English. They study it, but they don't live it. They learn about English, instead of learning through English. They memorize rules, instead of practicing rhythm. They translate in their heads, instead of thinking in the language. And so, when it's time to use English, to speak, to listen, to understand, nothing comes out. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is the method. When we were kids, nobody gave us grammar books. We didn't sit down with a notebook and a teacher saying, "This is the past perfect." We listened. We copied. We guessed. We made mistakes. We were corrected. And slowly, we spoke. You didn't memorize words like apple, go, or come. You just heard them 100 times. You saw people point to an apple and say, apple. You saw someone walk out the door and say, I'm going. You repeated those sounds until they felt natural. You didn't even know the rules, but you used them. And that's what fluency is. So if you've been learning English through books and not through real experience, it makes sense that you still feel stuck. But here's the good news. You can change that. Let's go deeper. Most learners spend too much time studying English and not enough time absorbing English. What does that mean? Studying looks like this: reading grammar rules, memorizing vocabulary, doing exercises, translating sentences. That kind of learning stays in your head. It's logical. It's mental. But when you speak, your brain doesn't have time to stop and think about rules. It needs fast access, emotional, instinctive, automatic. Absorbing English means surrounding yourself with the language. Listening to it. Feeling it. Repeating it. thinking in it, using it. That's what builds real fluency. Now, let's talk about grammar. Grammar is useful. But here's what nobody tells you: grammar rules won't make you fluent. You need to feel the grammar, not just understand it. When someone says, "I've been working all day," your brain should hear the feeling of time in that sentence. You should sense that it started earlier and is still happening now. Not because you remembered the rule, but because you've heard that structure so many times, it sounds right. That takes repetition. That takes listening. That takes stories. Here's something else many learners get wrong. They try to learn too many words at once. They write long lists of vocabulary. They memorize them for a test. But later, they forget them. Why? Because the brain doesn't like disconnected facts. It likes stories. It likes emotion. It likes repetition in context. Let me give you an example. If you learn the word run, that's fine. But if you hear, "She ran to the store because it was closing," now you understand how run works. You feel the meaning. You see the situation. You'll remember it much longer. That's how your brain was designed to learn language, through real situations. Now let's talk about a big fear: speaking. You've studied. You understand a lot. But when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank. You forget words. You feel nervous. You're afraid of making mistakes. And maybe you even stop trying. This is completely normal. The only way to overcome that fear is by speaking. Not once a week. Not only in class. Every single day. And it doesn't matter if you have a partner or not. You can talk to yourself. You can talk to the mirror. You can shadow a video. You can describe your day in English. The more you speak, the less scary it becomes. The more you speak, the faster your mouth learns the patterns. The more you speak, the more fluent you become. But if you avoid speaking because you don't feel ready, you'll never feel ready. Fluency doesn't come from knowing. It comes from doing. Another reason you might still be struggling is this: you think too much in your own language. You hear English, and your brain translates. You want to speak, and your brain builds the sentence in your first language first. That takes time. That creates mistakes. That slows everything down. You have to start thinking in English. That doesn't mean thinking about complex ideas. It means using simple English to describe what you see, feel, and do. It means thinking, "I'm hungry," instead of "What is the English word for hungry again?" It means hearing "I don't know" and not needing to translate it. You train your brain to think in English by listening a lot and speaking a lot. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to understand enough. Your brain will begin to fill in the blanks. Here's something most people forget. Learning English takes time, but it also takes consistency. Many learners study hard for 1 week. Then stop. Then come back after a month. Then stop again. That doesn't work. It's not about studying for 3 hours. It's about showing up every single day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. If you listen to one short story in English every morning, repeat a few lines out loud, and talk to yourself for 5 minutes, you will improve. Slowly, but surely. That's how fluency grows. And one more thing. You might be struggling because you expect too much too soon. English isn't something you master in a month. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to speak like a native. You just need to communicate. And every small step is success. If you understand this video better than the last one, that's progress. If you spoke to yourself in English for 2 minutes today, that's progress. If you remembered a new phrase from yesterday's story, that's progress. Celebrate those wins. Because they add up. So, let's review, not with numbers or rules, but with feeling. If you've been learning English for years but still feel stuck, it doesn't mean you're bad at it. It means you need a different path. Start living in English, not just studying it. Stop focusing on perfection and start focusing on communication. Stop memorizing empty lists and start learning through stories. Stop waiting to be ready and start speaking now. You're not late. You're not slow. You're exactly where you need to be. But today is the day to move forward in the right way. Now it's your turn. In the comments, tell us which part of this video made the biggest impact for you. Was it the part about grammar? The problem with vocabulary lists? The fear of speaking? Share your experience with us. Let's help each other. And please, if you found this video helpful, share it with someone else who's learning English. Let's grow together. Make sure you're subscribed, the bell is on, and the like is clicked, because we post real, useful English stories and lessons every single day. Thanks for learning with us. Keep going. You're doing better than you think.